Let's redesign some new Pokemon. That's right, there's over 900 Pokemon now, and if we're being honest, I kinda like most of them. Or at least, I think most of their designs are appropriate. Even if I don't personally like their designs all too much, I recognize that art is subjective, and I can still appreciate how accurately they convey their typings, their habitats, their powers, or their origins. However, there are a few that I really don't like for those reasons, because I don't think they accurately convey their inspirations, or they don't fit their evolution families, or something like that. So what we're going to do is talk a little bit about the Pokemon that are up for grabs today, the ones that I am going to fix. Let's talk about what in their inspirations is not coming through. Let's talk about their powers, what's expressed both in the anime and in the games, and what isn't really coming across in its design, and let's figure out a way to fix it. Today we are going to be figuring out one of the most hotly contested Pokemon of all time, Remoraid. Why does it evolve into Octillery? Why does a fish evolve into an octopus? Well, the answer is because back in the Gold and Silver beta, they wanted Remoraid to be a gun and Octillery to be a tank. So that kind of makes sense, but again, why does it have to be a fish? It should be some kind of cephalopod to match with Octillery, because we're going to fix Remoraid. We're not going to fix Octillery to make another fish. I think it'd be more interesting if we turn Remoraid into another species that could honor its inspiration as being kind of like gun-like and fast and shooting accurately with like jets of water. So we're going to make a Nautilus. These are these cool little things related to squids and octopi. Yeah, they have these shells for protection, so that could play well into like an army helmet kind of motif. It could be a little tanky, but mainly it's a Nautilus because this article and a lot of other studies say that Nautiluses shoot themselves and they propel themselves with jets of water, just like Remoraid. So we're keeping its inspiration intact. All we're really doing is changing up the colors to match it with Octillery, and we're changing it to a cephalopod to make it biologically cohesive and logical. And of course, we're gonna keep the gun and the tank kind of shooting ideas because its inspiration is cool and it deserves to be represented. So let's see what I can come up with. So nothing too complicated here. I was just keeping that Gen 2 simplicity because it is supposed to be a pre-evolution to Octillery. I'm keeping Remoraid's eyes, and I just had to figure out the spiral of the shell and getting the face tentacles right. Besides that, I was just trying to figure out whether to add some kind of trigger on the back, like a fin or a tentacle, and you'll see what I settled on. I just wanted to, kind of have the gun thing be a little prevalent, but not too overt. So let's see what we did. And here is our drastically new Remoraid. Yeah, I mean, no longer is it a fish, now it's a Nautilus. I think it makes more sense. That was our priority, was revamping its design to more closely match its secondary evolution, which I think it makes it look more interesting. We don't have a Nautilus Pokemon, and I think the colors work better now. Obviously, it's a little more cohesive with the red and the white. And yeah, I just had like a back tentacle thing to show that it's kind of like the trigger, and there's like a handle, which is like the sharp part of the shell on the bottom. But again, it's not too overt because Octillery, doesn't scream tank. It's just kind of like a secondary motif. So that's all we're doing, just creating a simple Nautilus that can shoot water. So I hope you like it. To preface this, I should say that I kind of like Rillaboom. It looks like a gorilla. It looks fierce. It looks like a starter's final evolution. So what I'm really fixing today is going to be pretty easy and kind of off-screen compared to the ones later. But I think my main issue is that it just doesn't look like an evolution of Grookey and Thwackey. And what I mean by that is, here they have this awesome lime color. It's really unique. I really like this color. And then it's gone there. It's, like where to go? Why? It kind of has like the Typhlosion problem where it looks like the normal animal with like a predominantly darker and muted color palette with like, its elemental thing just kind of tacked on. And I get why they did that because they wanted to make it, you know, like a punk drummer with the long vine hair. But the problem is, I mean, you can see it here. It's a taiko drummer. So I think we have to fix its design to be a little more Japanese. You know, it has to allude to a taiko drummer. And I think the best way to do that is to, you know, put the drum on its chest, because it's a gorilla. It could beat its chest and make noise using that instead of awkwardly carrying this around. And that means we'll fix the drum firstly and the hair, because why does it look like that? We'll fix the hair, and of course we'll fix the colors, because then it'll be like a nice mix of this lime and this green, and some of the orange will come back. It's just gonna look a little more fun, in my opinion. So I'm just gonna make those changes, and let me know what you think. So here we go. Here's my fixed Rillaboom. For the other ones, I'm going to show you my process on screen, but this change was actually pretty easy. So I just did it digitally. Basically, what we did for the new Rillaboom was, of course, fix the colors. I gave it like a nice, more saturated lime green or pear green, and you know, that orange is back in its hands and feet. And I think that just works a lot better. It looks a lot more fun. It looks more naturally like a grass type rather than a big monkey Pokemon with like the grass hair just kind of tacked on. And of course, if you look at its chest, I gave it that wooden taiko drum. I think that adds a lot because, you know, just like a real gorilla, it could beat its chest. It's more organic integration into its body and into its, you know, battle style rather than having it just be an object that kind of appears out of nowhere. I really don't like the animation where it shows up. It looks really stupid, and I also don't really like Pokemon with objects unless they have a really good reason. But with Rillaboom, I thought it was a huge missed opportunity, so here's my fix for it. Let me know what you think. We are going to be fixing up the last member of the Dratini family, Dragonite. Yeah, I said I wasn't going to touch any ones that, you know, purely on the basis of I don't like how they look. But I do have to put it out there, I don't like how Dragonite looks at all. It looks unfitting, it looks really lame. It's just, I can't believe it's the first dragon we ever got in the franchise. Anyway, let's diagnosis time. Dratini and Dragonair, they look serpentine, which fits because that's kind of how dragons look in Eastern mythology. You know, in Eastern media, Japanese and Chinese dragons are very snake-like, and I like that because it fits, because in Dragonite's lore it says it like rescues people in like storms and stuff, so it can swim very well. So why doesn't it, its body type should be more aquatic. And if you think about aquatic, like Dragonair also kind of has stuff going for it that makes it more aquatic. Like it has these pearls that are like blue and watery. And it also kind of has these wings, which, you know, they could be from a lot of different things, but I kind of interpret it as being from like, kind of like the wavy, like patterns that you see on like Viking ships, like this cool swirl that you see at the end of it. And also they have like mastheads that are dragons. Make like a combination Eastern dragon, like more snake-like, less lizard-like. Obviously blue and white, kind of like its first two evolutions, along with a Viking ship, because I think that would be cool. So let's do it. Nothing too complicated here. I'm just keeping a combination of Dratini and Dragonair's kind of cute, but still snake-like face. I want it to be cute and not too menacing, because that, you know, that fits Dragonite's personality. So we're sketching out like a snake-like kind of thing. I'm experimenting a little bit with these like flipper kind of feet, so it can look like paddles on like a Viking ship, but also just kind of like that, you know, Eastern dragon talons. And yeah, let's see how it looks. So this is Dragonite. I think it looks pretty good. It looks just like a slight evolution of Dragonair. It's not nearly like a dramatic departure. But I think it works. Again, my main two things were, you know, making it look more aquatic, you know, through the blue colors, through the pearls, and through like these like Viking kind of flipper things, but also like making it an Eastern dragon, because that just fits the lore more. It fits, you know, where you can find Dratini in Gold and Silver too, like in the Dragon Den. It's very much like Japanese inspired, and I think that's really great. And imagine, God, like imagine seeing this Dragonite like come out of the water. That would be really cool. I'm pretty proud of this design. So yeah, let me know what you think. Yeah, I also don't really like Aromatisse. I don't think it's like terrible. I just think it's kind of an unfocused design. I know a lot of people just think it looks like gross and weird. I mean, I think it has potential. It's a lot of different things. As you can see, its pre-evolution Spritzy is a little bird, like a flamingo. And also it has like a Plague Doctor mask, and it has connections to like aroma and perfume. But Aromatisse doesn't look that bird-like. It looks gross and humanoid. I'm trying to be more specific here. It's not that gross. It's just, I don't like it. But yeah, we can cut out the can dancer thing, I think. That's not that relevant. I think we should just focus on the Plague Doctor aspect. That's really cool. They have these like cool masks that, you know, they were diffusing aromas in there because they believed in like miasma, like the idea that like smells could carry disease. So I think we could do that by like emphasizing the fact that it has like a nice like long mask, longer than its pre-evolution. So we're gonna make a Plague Doctor Flamingo. It's going to be more avian. That's kind of what I'm getting at here, because I think the body type will work. The mask kind of, it writes itself, you know, like I don't know how they messed this up. And yeah, I guess we could throw in like a makeup poof thing. That's what I was going for. So yeah, let's fix it up. Alright, so here we are just sketching out a straightforward flamingo in anatomy. It's nothing too complicated, but obviously we're making the Plague Doctor mask accentuated, because that's like the central aspect of this thing now, rather than like dancing and makeup and smells and all that. It's strictly a Plague Doctor, and I think it's going to be a lot more focused because of it. So here it is, our finished Aromatisse. This one was actually pretty easy to design given how many problems I have with the true design. I like that it's just a bird now. I think it's a lot more straightforward. It's more believable. It looks like it could live in the world of Pokemon and be found in any number of environments. It's like a nice mix of creepy and cute because of the Plague Doctor mask. And I'm glad that I kept Spritzy's colors. It works well. It shows it's a fairy type. It shows it has a connection to perfume and aromas. But also that red eye, it's creepy and it's cool. So yeah, I just fixed one of my least favorite Pokemon. So let me know what you think. Alright, well that's a wrap on today. Alongside being a fun way to exercise art and Pokemon, I think this is a good way to just kind of appreciate the lore of different Pokemon more, and understand that even if a Pokemon has a design that you think is a total flop, it might have an inspiration that's very well-meaning and that you might actually appreciate. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This is definitely a sub-series that I want to continue alongside all the other stuff I do on this channel. And if you're new because of this video and you want to see more videos like this, check out some of my other videos. I've designed common ancestor Pokemon, I've done regional forms for the new Sinnoh games, and I'm even designing my own region with original Pokemon. So check it out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time for more content.